Constitutional design, civics, social study. Question and answer. 1. Here are some false statements. Identify the mistakes in each case and rewrite these correctly based on what you have read in this chapter. A. Leaders of the freedom movement had an open mind about whether the country should be democratic or not after the independence. B. Members of the Constituent Assembly of India held the same views on all provisions of the Constitution. C. A country that has a constitution must be a democracy. D. Constitutions cannot be amended because it is the supreme law of a country. Answers. A. Leaders of the freedom movement had a consensus that the country should be a democratic nation after independence. B. Members of the Constituent Assembly of India held the same views on the basic principles of the Constitution. C. A country that is a democracy must have a constitution. D. Constitutions can be amended to keep up with the changes in the aspirations of the society. 2. Which of these was the most silent underlying conflict in making of a democratic constitution in South Africa? A. Between South Africa and its neighbors. B. Between man and woman. C. Between white majority and the black majority. D. Between the colored minority and the black majority. Answer is D. Between the colored minority and the black majority. 3. Which of these is a provision that a democratic constitution does not have? A. Powers of the head of the state. B. Name of the head of the state. C. Power of the legislature. D. Name of the country. The answer is B. Name of the head of the state. 4. Match the following leaders with their roles in the making of the Constitution. A. Motilal Nehru, President of the Constituent Assembly. B. B.R. Ambedkar, Member of the Constituent Assembly. C. Rajendra Prasad, Chairman of the Drafting Committee. D. Sarojini Naidu, prepared a constitution for India in 1928. Answer. Motilal Nehru. Answer is prepared a constitution for India in 1928. B.R. Ambedkar. The answer is Chairman of the Drafting Committee, Rajendra Prasad. And the answer is President of the Constituent Assembly, Sarojini Naidu. The answer is Member of the Constituent Assembly. 5. Read again the extracts from Nehru's speech, Trust He with Destiny, and answer the following. Why did Nehru use the expression, not wholly or in the full of measure, in the first sentence? B. What pledge did he want the makers of the Indian Constitution to take? C. The ambition of the greatest man of our generation has been to wipe every tear from every eye. Who was he referring to? Answer. A. Nehru used the expressions not wholly or in the full of measure because according to him, the task of building a nation is a gigantum task which cannot be fulfilled in one's lifetime. B. The pledge that he wanted the makers of the Indian Constitution to take was dedicate their lives to the service of India, the Indian people, and the humanity at large. C. He was referring to Mahatma Gandhi. 6. Here are some of the guidelines, values of the constitutions and their meaning. Rewrite them by matching them correctly. A. Subversion. The government will not favor any religion. B. Republic. Second, people have the supreme right to make decisions. C. Fraternity. Head of the state is an elected person. Secular. People should live like brothers and sisters. Answers. Subversion. The answer is people have the supreme right to make decisions. Republic. The answer is head of the state is an elected person. Fraternity. The answer is people should live like brothers and sisters. Secular. And the answer is government will not favor any religion. 7. A friend from Nepal has written you a letter describing the political situations there. Many political parties are opposing the rule of the king. Some of them say that the exist constitutions given by the monarchy can be amended to allow more powers to elected representatives. Others are demanding a new constituent assembly, elected republican constitutions. Reply to your friend giving your opinions on the subject. Answer. In my opinion, second option is best. Making small amendments not shift the whole power in hands of representatives. This does not make total responsibility on elected representatives, what will happen in next years. So a new and well-drafted constitution is right choice. 8. Here are different opinions about what made India a democracy. How much importance would you give to each of these factors? 8. Democracy in India is a gift of the British rulers. We received training to work with representative legislative institutions under the British rule. B. Freedom struggle challenged the colonial exploitations and denial of different freedoms to Indians. Free India could not be anything but democratic. C. We were lucky to have leaders who had democratic conviction. The denial of democracy in several other newly independent countries shows the important role of these leaders. Answer. A. Democracy in India is a gift of the British rulers. We received training to work with representative legislative institution under the British rule. B. Freedom struggle was important in spreading the idea of nationalism in India and calculating the practice of making decisions by the consensus. C. The leaders had the desire to give freedoms to the people. India's freedom struggle is the only example of a bloodless freedom struggle in the contemporary history. This could be possible because our nationalist leader had the maturity to listen to the others' views. 9. Read the following extract from the Conduct Book for Married Women, published in 1912. God has made the female species delicate and fragile, both physically and emotionally, pitiably incapable of self-defense. They are destined, thus by God, to remain in male protection of father, husband, and son all their lives. Women should therefore not disappear, but feel obliged that they can dedicate themselves to the services of men. Do you think the values expressed in this para reflected the values underlying for our constitution, or does this so go against the constitutional values? Answer. The value expressed in the para is totally contradictory to the values underlying our constitution. Here women are treated as, while in our constitution men and women both are treated equal. The governmental policies also favor women to bring them in mainstreams. 10. Read the following statements about a constitution. Give reason why each of these is true or not true. A. The authority of the rules of the constitution is the same as that of any other law. B. Constitution lays down how different organs of the government will be formed. C. Rights of citizen and limits on the power of the government are laid down in the constitution. D. A constitution is about institutions, not about values. Answer. A. Not true. Constitution is supreme law. It describes how government elects and their powers, right to of cities and their protection. This is totally different than any other law. B. True. Constitutions defines the role of the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary, and how they should be formed and by whom. C. True. Constitutional setup limits the power of government, the different institutions, and also talks about the right of citizens. B. Not true. The Constitution contains all the values which the institutions have to promote. The preamble to the Constitution is a shining example of this and states clearly that justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity have to be promoted. Secularism has to be followed, and socialism and democracy should be the basis of the government. If you like the video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe the channel for more videos. Thank you.